Hello guys, welcome to another video. I hope you all had a wonderful week. From the title of the video, you guys must have already got the basic idea of what the video is going to be. And you must have thought to yourself, I've heard this a lot of times before from a lot of motivational speakers. Various of them, all of them tell this: keep your surroundings happy to stay happy. And even I've myself heard it a lot, but I just would like to put a little teenager input into it. So, as a teenager, I found it really hard to keep my complete environment and the contents which I come across all the time positive. And you all must have found it really hard too. And the and that's the basic reason of making this video. I just wanted to give you a few solutions which I myself used and which worked for me to keep myself as much as far from negative thoughts and negative content and people, and also to not let me myself question my capabilities, because that's the last thing you should ever do. This video does not answer all your questions, okay? It is not from a great author or from a huge motivational speaker or nothing. It's just from a random teenager on the internet, and it might not answer all your questions, but you can always leave it down in the comments and I'll try my best to find the best solution and the best answer for it. Now let's get right into the topic. This device right here, the mobile phone, a revolutionary invention, isn't it? Yes, it is. And it is the window of infinite knowledge for us, because we can get into any part of the world, information from any part of the world in just a click. And that's something which wasn't there, let's say 10 or 20 years ago, okay? That happened after the invention of the smart mobile phone and the invention of the internet. Now, I just wanted to find this out, and I googled it up and found out that an average person uses his or her mobile phone for almost 4.5 hours a day, and that is scientifically proven as mentally and physically very unhealthy. So, as I'm not a doctor, okay, I'm not going to get into the physical part of the physical harm that excessive use of a mobile phone is doing. Neither am I a therapist, but the mental harm done by the excessive use of the applications and the mobile phone made a lot of sense to me. And I could relate to it very much. So I thought if I could relate to it, people my age from 18 to 20 could relate to it a lot too. So that's why I thought I'd share this experience, to be honest. I'd share this experience and a few solutions for this, for not to get stuck in the rat trap. So the mobile phone is unconsciously, okay, it is something which I realized for myself, okay, and this is a theory which I myself had interpreted, and that is, a mobile phone is unconsciously used as a dopamine dispenser by most of the people. Okay, now what do you mean by dopamine dispenser? Now let me first explain what dopamine is, okay? If for people who are unaware of dopamine is an hormone which is responsible for very important functions in the body, including happiness and excitement. So the secretion of the dopamine hormones is what creates happiness and excitement in one's body. So when the body lacks dopamine, the brain demands us to find the easiest way to get access to the dopamine or the content which can increase dopamine. So we in that let's say boredom, okay, that's what we do when we are bored. So when we are bored, we lack dopamine, we do not know, we are not excited, we're just lazy, and to get access to that much information, the only easiest way right now is the mobile phone. That's the easiest way to get access to that much information in just one click. So that's where we head to next. That's why when we are bored, we search for our phones the first thing. Now, how does a mobile phone affect you mentally? Okay, how does it create mental harm? A mobile phone as a device doesn't create mental harm or depression or anxiety, any of that. The applications which you install into the device, social media applications, are what or play a major role in harming yourself mentally. So how does social media play a role in harming you? So the first thing when I said, when just like I said, when you lack dopamine, you go into social media and find out how to find out contents which increase it. And it is not that social media offers only contents which make you happy. Then there are contents which make others happy, but maybe not you. That's what I said, it's infinite knowledge. It might be personalized, but it is millions of personalized content, and of which thousands you're going to scroll through every single day. See, I'm not one of those people who are going to tell you social media is, or the usage of social media is suicide. But if you do not know how to react to the information or the content or the rich and pretty life of others you are exposed to constantly, you are one step forward into killing yourself. And that is what I would and that is what I want to teach, or I want to present to you, because right now people don't know how to react to these. People don't know how to use these information to their benefit, and instead they're harming themselves mentally using these informations. And thousands of these contents and informations which you scroll through every day is causing serious mental damage for each and every single person who's trying to let themselves down and question their capabilities after seeing these contents. So the solutions which I am going to tell you are not restricted or specified for the usage of social media. It could be in real life, it could be applied or implemented in real life too. So if your question was that, well, that's answered. But it does not have to work for everyone. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is not an answer to all your questions, but it might answer a few of your questions. And if it does, I would be really glad. And if it does, please mention down it in the comments. So it really makes me happy that I've helped someone through my videos. That is my main motive behind making these videos. So, saying all this, staying off of social media is not practical at all at this era. Okay, staying off of social media, just like how our parents tell, it's not an easy way, and it's not a practical option either, because social media could be used for various reasons to let's say to promote your business. You could use all the platforms to find jobs. You could use LinkedIn to gain personal fame or expose your talent. You could use TikTok or Instagram. There is so much other usages, very positive usages for social media. But again, just like I said, if you do not know how to react to these informations and contents which you will be constantly exposed to, you are literally one step forward of killing yourself. Because why do you think the rate of suicide, okay, when we are all worried about coronavirus, the rate of suicide on an average every single day is 3,000. 3,000 people commit suicide every day due to depression and anxiety. And which is supposed to be, the opposite, because we are right now, compared to the past history, all the centuries which have come before us, all the generations, we right now live in one of the most safest and one of the most technologically advanced and completely new era and a new generation. And still the rates of suicide due to depression and anxiety are way more compared to any other generations before. If you think about it, you know, it's common sense. It has to be social media or the internet or the technological advancements. Well, I wouldn't say all the technological advancements, because it has created a lot of ease in communication and various other things, but just think about it for yourself. Social media has to have played a role, and it did. So right now I'm not going to get into all of that, but I'll just get into a few solutions which I used personally and which worked really well for me, and hope it works for you. If it doesn't, try to tell me your problems. You can contact me personally on my Instagram, which I'll leave it down in the link. If not, you can comment it down below if you don't have a problem with that. It's all up to you, and I'll answer your questions as soon as possible. Now, let me get into the few methods or the few solutions. So the first solution which I used but found it really difficult to use, and which I think will be much more difficult for other people, is ignorance. Trying to ignore the content which created negative thoughts, or thoughts which I do not actually am fond of, thoughts like that, and the contents which created these thoughts, I try to ignore them completely. But at the pace or at the rate of how constantly we all are exposed to these contents, it is going to be very difficult to ignore or completely ignore all these contents and stay away from it. So which is why this is not for everyone, but it is, if possible, it is the best thing you could do. Okay, so try doing it. Just whoever tries any of these solutions, just comment down below how it worked for you and how much of an influence any of these methods or all of them had on you. It really makes me happy. So now the second one which I did was acknowledgement of self-worth. Okay, acknowledgement of self-worth. And what does that mean is, most of the people, okay, I've seen in my friend circle too, most of them, just when they come across people who are successful, when they come across people who are living their dream life, the first thing they try to come up is with excuses for their success. For the people who are living their dream life, the contents and the posts which they come across, they come up with excuses. The things which they say are, they might have had rich parents, they came from this background, they came from this place, they knew this language, they had this opportunity, and they got educated in this place, they come up with various excuses. But there's just one thing instead of all those excuses which you could say, which would place yourself in your eyes way above the person, and that is, if he could do it, I can. So what does that make you? That makes you way above the person who is living your dream life. That means you're already above everyone around you, and that person already in your eyes. That's more than enough. So just try to acknowledge yourself and your capabilities instead of questioning them. Now the third solution which I used, which worked really well for me, was I try to find the source of the other people's success. So if you have a person whose success, who you envy, or which is not a good quality, but still, it's hard to restrain from it. But if you have a person like that, instead of envying them, okay, try to learn their source or their root of success. Try to learn how they made it, how they reached, and how they are living your dream life. Just try to analyze and learn their source of income or their career, and what do they do for living. So at the end of the day, when you're going to sleep, just close your eyes, and you yourself will start realizing, you know something, or you know something which you never knew before in the past, let's say 18 years of life. Today you know something which you never knew in those 18 years, and that again places you way above every single person who is going to be surrounding you. So just try to place yourself above. You don't have to prove anyone right or wrong. Warren Buffett has this very inspiring quote, and that is, just because 1,000 people think you are right doesn't mean you are right. And just because 1,000 people think you are wrong doesn't mean you are wrong. If you have your facts right, and if you have your reasonings right, and if you value yourself right, you will eventually end up in the right place. And I've tried it, and right now I've had, in the past 6 months, okay, in this quarantine session, I've learned much more than I've ever learned in the past 12 to 14 years of my schooling. I'm not even joking with you. Just today onwards, just try to do all this. And these two solutions, whenever you come across someone, when you think, if he can do it, I can do it, I want you to tell it aloud. I want you to tell it as loud as you can hear it. Okay, I don't want you to run around with a microphone and tell, if I can do it, he can. He can do it, I can do it. Blah blah blah. No, I want you to tell it as loud as you can hear. Okay, and tell it. Let the words come out. Just say in a mild voice, if he can do it, obviously I can. And when you speak, there are two things which come into action. That is the law of attraction and the subconscious mind. So the law of attraction states that when you keep repeating something, repeating thoughts and your words of something which you really need, okay, you will eventually be attracted to that. So you must have noticed, when you're searching for a certain type of car, okay, I've done this. When you're searching for a certain type of car which is barely seen in the road, but you keep on thinking, oh, I want to find that car, I want to find that car. Eventually, just one passes, another one passes from the other side, there's another one parked over there. From where do all these come? It has always been there. You just didn't know about it. You just weren't attentive enough. I've heard in a speech which was said by one great author. I can't remember his name, but he said, dreams and goals don't come from the front. They don't announce that this is your dream, please come take me. They don't come from the front. They come from the back. They come as a secret. They come as a whisper. And if you are not attentive enough, they'll just pass you by, and they're going to go into someone else who is more attentive than you. So that's it. You've missed your golden chance. So if you keep yourself educated instead of envying someone, or instead of sulking on someone's success, and instead learning from them or learning about them, okay, you're going to be far ahead than the 90% of the population. Why do you think 1% of the people acquire the major wealth of the world, the billionaires? Around the world, there are only 2,000 billionaires. That couldn't even fill a football field. There are 7 billion people alive in the world, and there is 2,000 billionaires. Why? They have a certain discipline. They have a certain methods of living, and when they follow it strictly, they reach a point where they don't even have to follow anything, but still that becomes part of their life, and they follow all the disciplines even if they make it, and that's what helps them sustain it. So yeah, now okay, I've talked a lot. Now the fourth one is try to stay informed. You have to be informed of the events, but don't be over informed about the tragic events and the tragedies which is happening around the world, because right now there are only tragedies which is happening around the world. And I've noticed something on social media. The same news gets keeps on getting repeated, okay, and this is this is something which we don't need. But if you being over informed about these events helps the people who have suffered from these events and the tragedies which took place, please put a step forward, because the world really needs people like you. Okay, I've actually talked a lot. Okay, now there's a second option which you could choose and which you have to choose, which is really helpful for you in any matter, and that is meditation. It's completely different from what I've talked before, and that is meditation. Meditation helps you to keep focused on your inner capabilities and into your inner thoughts, and it helps you create a surrounding or an environment around you which is just you. It'll be you in a world with only you. Your thoughts matter. You're influenced by yourself, so where nobody else influences you, and that 15 minutes a day of peace and calm environment will help you for the rest of the day to concentrate on the essentials and not to get influenced by other people's thoughts, and have a peaceful and calm day. And that's when you rage out is when you flip out, and that's when you don't know what's going to happen next. But when you have a calm and peaceful mind for the rest of the day, it is so much easier for you to concentrate and not mess things up in the maybe you have a project to be completed, or maybe anything could come up, and you need complete focus, and if you don't have peaceful and calm mind, it's going to be very difficult for you to concentrate. And meditation really helps to gain concentration and keep a peaceful mind. I'm not a guru or anything, so that means I do not know much professional meditation techniques and all that, but a little 15 minutes for yourself with calm and peaceful environment, I'm pretty sure that will do the trick. So I hope you guys got a little value from the video, and especially teenagers and people from the age of 18 to 20. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. It really helps me make videos and motivates me to make videos. And if there is something which I could work on, please leave it down in the comments below, and I'll make sure in the next coming up videos I'll work on it. And until then, hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Salud. Bye bye.